Hey everyone, we're here at day 5 of IEM CeBIT, and I'm here with the mid laner of Gambit Gaming, AlexIch. How have you been enjoying the event so far?
So the event is good. Like as always, there is XMG scene around the relaxing and press area, and it's really loud. But overall, it's fine, and like CeBIT and Hanover.
Now, on Gambit, you've been pretty much the most consistent player on the team for a very long time, and maybe even the most consistent player in the world. What do you think contributes to your success as far as being able to play a multitude of champions and always keep up with the roster and stuff? Do you think that's just talent, or have you put a lot of practice into this and you think you're doing something other players aren't?
No, I myself play really a lot. I think that even my wife started hating me because I could spare time with her. We got, for example, 8 hours training time, but I'm still playing even more and more. And I think that you need to practice really a lot to be at the top form. I'm watching a lot of replays. I'm trying to be sure that I know everything happening all over the world. So I know the heroes are playing. I'm trying all the heroes, and I try to find out what can I play better and try to put it up in our team so we can play together and get the synergy of the heroes.
Now, on the topic of kind of being a family man now with the wife and kid and whatnot, do you think this is do you ever have fear that this might lower your performance at all, or do you think that this has nothing to do with it, and as long as you balance your time, you're still going to be a really strong player and you're not going to get any weaker than you were before?
So I think at the beginning, okay, I was a bit afraid of that, but now I think that it won't affect at all, because I think I need just to spare time as good as I should. I think there are a lot of sportsmen and other guys, and it's another motivation, and a lot of them even started to play better. A lot of football players started to play better when they got the family. So I think that will only help me, and I will play better and better.
Now, when you guys first broke into the spotlight, it was kind of out of nowhere for the rest of the world. Nobody really knew how strong that you were as then Moscow 5 and now Gambit Gaming. When did you think this breakthrough really happened? When did this tournament happen for you, and how did you manage to ask really strong European teams to scrim with you to this point when you were kind of an up-and-coming team that nobody really knew about?
I think we mostly played ranked 5 versus 5s, and we still playing them a lot. But now it's hard to find the game because almost all the teams playing scrims. And I think the first was IEM Kiev qualifier, but we gathered 1 week or maybe 2 weeks before the qualifier. I left the team, then joined back, and 2 players didn't want to play with me, Zulin and Irugad. And I was playing with Edward Gossip Pepper at that moment, and he said that I asked him if he got some jungler, and he said that he got 1 guy, and we gathered up and we tried to play 5 versus 5, and it went really good. And when we played the qualifier, we got into loser bracket, but got to the finals and won SK Gaming 2-1.
Now, when you guys also came onto the scene, you were also not only really, really strong players, but you were also innovators. You created a lot of new strategies. I mean, you guys had the counter jungling strategy with triple Dorans, and you also had, at last year's IEM CeBIT, you had, you sent Urgot bottom solo with blue buff. So, did you think these other teams were just too experienced to deal with that kind of innovation? Or what was the reason for you guys not really playing standard? Because before you guys actually entered the scene, the game was very boring pre-20 minutes, and you guys pretty much shaped it to be very aggressive. And it's not so much that way anymore because players have adapted, but what really made you guys find out that these teams are vulnerable to these kind of aggressive strategies?
I myself played jungle like that, and then when Diamond came to our team and I went to mid lane, he was playing jungle the same way. He was going really aggressive all the time, and it's we just adapted to that, and I think at that time no one was expecting that, and with clairvoyance it was really easy to find out the enemy's jungler and to counter jungle a lot. So it's just Diamond was picked up the junglers that are really good duelists and just duel the enemy jungler, and if the enemies know that they got no jungle help and and they are always afraid of the enemy's jungle. We just abused it as much as possible because it was just our play style. We liked it.
Now, speaking of clairvoyance, what do you think needs to be done to make it useful right now?
I don't really know. Like, I think one of the ways to make it useful, give it the true vision, like so you can spot the wards and the invis heroes with clairvoyance. I think it will make it viable even like in the current state.
Now, I already asked Darian this question, but I'd like to know your point on it. What is Groove to you guys on the team? Like, what does he provide for you, and like what role does he really play on the team besides, or well, maybe he's helps you guys with strategies, maybe he helps you guys just like stay motivated. Like, what does he do for you all?
So Groove is not just our manager. He's like our big friend. He helps us a lot. He knows a lot outside of the game, like helping us with all the like financial visa stuff. He helps a lot even like in game stuff, like in the case of moral and like psychological things. He knows a lot because he played a lot of like Counter-Strike. He was like coach, player, manager, whatever. And now he just uses his knowledge and helps us.
Nice. So when you guys are kind of scrimming day to day and doing your daily practice regimen, how much of that really goes into reviewing replays and studying, and how much of that actually just goes into playing as a team and maybe solo queue too? Like, how do you split the time there?
So at the moment we got some kind of not hard schedule, but lately we were playing 8 hours per day, 5 versus 5 rankeds, or like practices, scrims and stuff. And I myself, like, and I think Diamond Prox and others, just watch the replays at the time that, like, at their spare time. So the team is not just like, these guys are annoying there.
I know.
So it's just like we don't do it as a team, but I do it myself and Diamond does, and then we just share the information we got from the replays. And I try to always to watch the replays from the top players, like a lot of Korean players like Easy Hoon, Ambition, Rapid Star and others, to find out the heroes they're playing, the runes, masteries, and just the play style, what they're doing throughout the game, to try like copying it or getting something from that and then using it myself and even playing even better.
Now, every week you guys have been flying from Russia to Germany for LCS every single week. Is this like, do you think this taxes your performance at all, or is it something you've gotten so used to that it doesn't really impact your play?
I think that we could have much more practice time if we wouldn't like travel a lot, but still we're getting used to it, and I think that we can handle it, and I think we will have like break time between the seasons that we can practice, and after summer season we will have if we get to the finals we'll have a lot of time to practice, and I think we will come even stronger.
Now, another thing I wanted to ask actually is a while back you actually kind of looked down on the N8 scene and they were really weak in Season 2. So do you think with like the LCS salarying these teams and kind of making things more serious that they might actually become a threat, or are they just going to like wither away and kind of be the underdogs all the time still?
I think with like LCS schedule and practice, they started taking it more serious and practicing more. And I think team like Dignitas and Curse the first, and like CLG and TSM the second, are getting better, and it will be much harder to win them. At least we will see at MLG Dallas what will happen.
And kind of on the same related note, how do you feel that having like a comfortable living affects your performance? I mean, for some of the NA teams, they can pretty much not win any tournaments, and they can still, live a happy life and be kind of wealthy and stuff. And some of these other teams, like the Asian teams and stuff, they don't really have these sponsors that like just pay them to play the game. So they have to win tournaments to basically eat and just stay healthy and stuff. Do you think that maybe some of these spoiled teams perform under par because they have such like a easy financial situation?
I actually think yes, that it affects the NA teams, because a lot of like I know that lot of NA organizations got much more money in them, got much more sponsors in North America. So in Europe it's really hard to find any sponsorship, and in Russia it's even harder. And like now we're a joint European organization, and I hope that it will be better. But like as for Moscow 5, it was really hard to find some support, and so overall I think that NA teams live more comfortable, and they know that they will still have money. It's like, and even when people streaming like Ocelot, I think now he thinks more about the winning, so he stopped streaming. Like he really feels like now not like a showman, but like a player, like a solid player, and I really like that. Like I think that winning is more important than getting money. Like the win is the goal you're playing for.
So what do you do when you're suffering from burnout and you just feel like you're playing too much? Do you just stop practicing, or do you force yourself, or is there other things you do to kind of relax and chill when you feel like you're playing too much and that it could hurt your play because you don't want to burn out before a tournament? So do you guys just play anyway, or do you find another way to relax with the team and like get together and have fun?
I myself like to just like hang out somewhere, or hang out with my wife, because we don't like having gaming houses and stuff, so we can have our spare time. Or I can play some other games. Like I really like to play StarCraft 2 lately, and I do it a bit, but not that much. It's I just don't have time for that.
What's your rating in StarCraft 2?
So at the moment it's Platinum, but like I'm close to Diamond, I think.
What race do you play?
Protoss.
Awesome. So how's your relationship with the team outside of actually just being teammates? Like, are you guys good friends? I know they were all at your wedding and whatnot. Are you guys still on good terms, like just outside of the game, not just as business partners, but as like family, as being like a team and being happy together and friendly and all that stuff?
I think we're like family that is getting annoyed and tired of each other sometimes. So it's like I think the team suits us really well. Like we got some inside jokes, and sometimes we get some issues, but I think we can handle it and just go through, and that we're experienced and are used to it. And I don't think that anything will change until someone will just stop playing League of Legends or just getting tired of the playing.
So since you guys have been performing so well without a gaming house, and you actually say you get annoyed once in a while with each other, do you think it's kind of overrated to have a gaming house, or do you guys feel like you'd be even stronger with a gaming house?
So I think that having gaming house, if you do it properly, like I actually myself do think that bootcamp thing, like training before the tournament, is much better than gaming house overall, because you can't get concentrated on the game like 1 year throughout the 1 year. I think that maybe Koreans and Chinese people can do it, but aside for myself, I can say that I can't just play at my top level all the time and just like practicing and doing nothing else. So I think that coming together for 2 weeks or maybe 1 month is much better than having gaming house throughout the year.
All right, thank you so much for the insight. Is there anything you want to say to your fans or sponsors and maybe even family before we close this interview out?
So I want to thank all our fans throughout the world. I really like that a lot of people are rooting for us, and that a lot of people like supporting us even if we are losing. And I want to thank my wife for like rooting for me, watching me, and like, getting nervous and upset with me. And I want to thank our sponsor BenQ, main sponsor, and other sponsors. And I want to thank Gambit for helping us and bringing us here.
All right, guys, wonderful answers from AlexIch. This was Ghost of Gamers, and stay tuned, and we'll be bringing you more interviews on day 5 here at IEM CeBIT.